Ska. Chica. Ska. Ska. Izzy pop. Ska. Diabolical Debbie. Ska. TWP. Ska. It's popcorn tingles. Ska. Welcome. Sweet Vixen. Ska. Brain tingles begin. Green Hornet. The Creepy Pasta Channel. Ska. It's Kim Maple tingles. Nikki Rev. Ska. It's Peachy Ska. Welcome. Judas Cradle. Get your own style. Homegrown tingles. It's Pindar Ska. Welcome, darling. They're coming in and share it out. Traders. It's Traders Vans. It's Traders Vans and it's Traders Vans. Bopoxka, welcome, buddy. TWP popcorn. Ska. All right. It's burnt flowers falling. Watching on big TV. Yes, lover. How about a plump sock, says Ned Johnny. Ska. Oh my goodness. I'd like to welcome you to the House of Thrillers. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. Tonight, I've got a special guest. It's Izzy Pop, aka Tingle Pop. Tingle. We're going to be reading Bonnie and Clyde. So buckle your seatbelts. It's quite the ride. And we'll see you on the other side. Ska. Everybody, welcome Izzy Pop.
Hello. Let's say hello. I don't know.
Say hello.
Anyway. Hello.
We're gonna have fun tonight, aren't we?
I don't know. We're
Hey
gonna
Izzy,
try.
say hey to Ned Germany, my editor and co-writer to Dutch Coffee Shop. He's out there in the chat. Say hey,
Hello.
Ned.
Who's that?
Can y'all hear us all right? There's Sapphire and Harley Grower.
Rice checks, wheat checks, corn
Sound
checks.
check, Nez. Yes, lover.
Good. Where's he at? I can't find him.
Hey Ned, say something out there in the chat, buddy. It's tree limb trees, and creepy eyes. Creepy eyes, my broski.
333 in the chat.
333.
3.
Green
Oh, come
hornet
on.
tingles.
I'll catch him. Ned Germany.
guys.
Ned Germany. I just called him. Hello, Ned Germany.
Hey, Eric,
Hey,
Eric
Ballpark.
Garcia. Bopop.
Sweet Vixen. Kim Maple. I had to do it like you.
There he is, Ned Germany.
Ned.
Scuss.
Hey there, Ned.
Before we get started, tomorrow night we're going to have auditions for Alice in Wonderland. You guys come on out and try out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you, Ned.
It's Tony Baker MD. Welcome, buddy.
No, it's
we'll do auditions tomorrow, and then we'll have several rehearsals and the big show a couple of weeks later.
I am not high, Stoney. I said I wasn't getting high before this.
Hey, Meg, it's Meg's mystery.
Need to be high.
Scuss. Ned Tingles. Well,
PD.
Where's PD?
PD Connects is in the house.
I saw PD was live just a little while ago. I said, oh gosh, you might not make it. Hey, Genevieve. It's Kiki Kimmy Ken. Ska. And Genevieve.
Meg's mystery.
I wonder if the music could be a little louder. Does it sound pretty good, everybody? What do y'all think? Honestly, can't hear it quite like I usually. Let me turn it up just a little.
So, up or down, y'all? Come on, y'all.
Music up a little bit, guys.
Sounds good to me.
Let's see what. That's
it
better. I'll just turn my fan off so I can hear it much better now.
DJ is in house. Welcome to
DJ.
Scully's House of Dilla.
DJ is Tingles. Brain tingles begin, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle your seatbelts. Push those earbuds in deep. It's Bonnie and Clyde. We fade into the interior of a bedroom. We'll close up on Bonnie Parker in the day. She's blonde, somewhat fragile, intelligent in expression. She's putting on makeup with intense concentration and appreciation. Applying lipstick and eye makeup. The camera pulls back and continues to move very slowly throughout the first part of this scene. Her attitude and appraisal of herself here are touched with narcissism. The bedroom itself is a second-story bedroom in a lower-class frame house in West Dallas, Texas. Bonnie finishes admiring herself. She walks from the mirror and moves slowly across the room. Shade is up. There are no curtains. She looks out the window, looking down, and the camera looks down with her.
Exterior bedroom, Bonnie's point of view, day. Over her shoulder, we see the driveway leading to the garage connected to the house. There is an old car parked in the driveway, its windows open. We see a man walking up the driveway, somewhat furtively. He is a rather dapper feller, dressed in a dark suit with a vest, a white collar, and a straw boater. It is Clyde Barrow. Obviously, he is about to steal the car. He looks it over, checking around him to make sure no passerbys are coming. He peers inside the front window to see if the keys are in the ignition. He studies the dashboard. Bonnie continues watching silently. Finally, she calls out, "Hey, boy, what you doing with my mama's car?"
The exterior of the driveway today. Clyde, startled, jumps and looks to see who has called him. Obviously frightened, he looks up and his face freezes at what he sees. Exterior of the window and Clyde's point of view of the day. We now see what he's looking at the open window. Revealed from the waist up is the naked Bonnie. She looks down, an impudent half smile on her face. She doesn't move or make any attempt to cover herself. Izzy.
Clyde's point of view.
Hmm?
His face changes from astonishment to an answering smile of impudence. Maybe it was me. "Wait there!" Running from the window, she flings open a closet and grabs a dress and shoes. She slips on the shoes and flings the dress on, running out the door as she does. The camera tracks her, moving as fast as she runs down the stairs. She buttons up the dress.
The exterior of the driveway a day.
She flies out the door.
Sorry, that's what I meant about skipping back and forth between each of those taglines. It's all right.
I thought Clyde's point of view was Clyde's point of view and mine was mine.
Oh, it's all good. I think they're liking it out there.
Go for it.
How's
It's your
it
show.
sounding? She flies out the door, slamming it behind her. Runs off the porch, and all this has been one continuous movement since she left the window in great haste. She continues quickly down the driveway, 4 feet away from Clyde. She stops on a dime. They stand there, looking at each other, smiling the same challenge. For a few seconds, no one speaks then.
"Ain't you ashamed? Trying to steal an old lady's automobile?"
I've been thinking about buying me one.
"Bull, you ain't got no money for a dinner, let alone buy no car."
Now, I got enough money for Cokes, and since it don't look like you're going to invite me inside.
"You'd steal the dining room table if I did."
Come to town with me then. How'd that be?
"Going to work anyway."
The exterior of the street, it's a moving shot a day. The camera tracks. It is a hot Texas afternoon. All white light and glare. As they walk the block to town in this scene, their manner of mutual impudence is still pervading. "Going to work, huh? What do you do?"
"None of your business."
"I bet you're a movie star." "Nah, a lady mechanic. Maid."
"What do you think I am?"
"A waitress."
"What line of work are you in when you're not stealing cars?"
"I tell you, I'm looking for suitable employment right at the moment."
"What did you do before?"
"I was in state prison."
"State prison?"
"Yeah."
"Guess some little old lady wasn't so nice."
"It was armed robbery."
My, the things that turn up in the driveway these days."
They reach the corner and turn. They are on the exterior of the main street at day. Small town street of barber shops, cafes, groceries, etc. At the moment, it is deserted. They continue walking down the empty street. Clyde looks the place over. What y'all do for a good time around here? Listen to the grass grow?
Guess you had a lot more fun up there at state prison, huh?
See this foot? I chopped 2 toes off it with an axe.
What? Why?
You get off that damn work detail. That's why. You want to see?
No. I surely don't intend to stand here and look at your dirty feet in the middle of Main Street. Boy, did you really do that?
Yeah.
You must be crazy.
Alright, check Izzy.
Exterior gas station day. Gas station up the block. Bonnie and Clyde are seen leaning against a soft drink chest, their profiles silhouetted by the bright sun. They are drinking Cokes. As they begin to talk, the camera moves in closer to them. Clyde takes off his hat and rubs a cold Coke bottle across his forehead. Bonnie watches him. What's it like?
What, prison?
No, armed robbery.
It's, I don't know. It isn't like anything.
Ha. I knew you never robbed no place, you faker.
Oh, yeah. He closes on the gun. He reaches in his jacket and pulls out a gun. The camera moves to a close-up of it, glinting in the sunlight.
Exterior street day. The camera pulls back to show Bonnie looking at it with fascination. The weapon has an immediate effect on her. She touches it in a manner almost sexual, full of repressed excitement, goading him on. Yeah? Well, you got one all right, I guess, but you wouldn't have the gumption to use it.
You just keep your eyes open. The exterior of the little grocery store across the street in the day. The camera remains just behind Bonnie's shoulder, so that throughout the following scene we have Bonnie in the picture looking at what we look at. Clyde goes into the little store. We remain outside with Bonnie. For a minute, nothing happens. We barely see what's going on in the store. Then Clyde comes out walking slowly. In one hand, he holds the gun. In the other, a fistful of money. He gets halfway to Bonnie and smiles broadly at her. Suddenly, the old man who runs the grocery store comes running out into the street, completely dumbfounded. Stands there, says nothing, yet his mouth moves in silent protest. Clyde points the gun above him and fires. Exterior of the store at the edge of town at day. Cars parked at the back of the store. As soon as they reach it, Clyde motions and Bonnie gets in. Clyde runs to the front. He lifts up the hood and crosses the wires to make it start. He stands back. Bonnie calls to him.
Hey, what's your name anyway?
Clyde Barrow. He runs over to the door and opens it, shoves her over, starts up the engine.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Parker. Pleased to meet you. Exterior road day. Vroom. The car zooms off down the road, doing 90. The fast country breakdown music starts up the soundtrack, going just as fast as a car. Exterior car day. The car, still speeding further down the road. We zoom down and look in the rear window. Clyde is driving. We see from behind. Bonnie is all over him, biting his ear, ruffling his hair, running her hands all over him, in short, making passionate love to him while he drives. The thrill of the robbery and the escape has turned her on sexually.
The exterior of the car. Another angle. Camera pulls back and above the car. Starts to go crazy in a comical fashion. Ska, 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 ska. Manifesting to the audience just what is happening to the driver controlling it. This car swerves all over the road. Ska, ska, ska. Another car comes down the road the other way. Clyde's car swerves so much as to make the other guy drive right off the road into the dirt. It is almost Max Sennett stuff, but not quite that much. Bonnie grabs the wheel and turns it sharply. It hairpins off the road onto a shoulder beneath some trees. Check, 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 check. That's your
Bonnie,
cue. Check, 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 check.
Okay. Shut up. Interior car.
Whisper Skuska
Honey.
in her ear, said Stony Baker. Field guy 316.
Interior car.
Ska,
Bonnie and
ska.
Clyde day. Shut up, man. So, geez. Still settling to a stop. Bonnie and Clyde appear to be necking heavily now, punctuated by Bonnie's squeals of passion as she squirms up. She squirms and hops about like a flea,
Kathleen.
trying to get to Clyde. The floor gear shift is keeping their bodies apart, however, in his aspiration. Bonnie takes the gear, shoves it forward out of the way. She plunges. See, we should have practiced. This wouldn't be so bad. She plunges onto Clyde, burying him from view.
All right, get to the action.
I did. You ready?
Wait.
Aren't you ready? Well, get ready. Bonnie has obviously touched him. With savage coquetry, she tears into her clothes and his. Come on, honey. Come on, boy. Let's go. Let's.
Hey, wait a minute. Quit that now. Cut it out. I said cut it out.
He shoves her rudely away, slamming her into the far car door. Suddenly, he looks as if they've been fighting. It's as if they've been fighting. Both unbuttoned and unglued, they stare silently at one another, breathing heavily. Clyde gets out of the car, clearly shaken, despite the fact that he may have encountered this situation many times before. It's one that no 21-year-old boy in 1932 is sophisticated enough to dismiss
Tendar.
easily with bravado.
He covers eyes, said Tendar. Bonnie remains seated in the car. Pindar, she seems terribly vulnerable. She fumbles about for a cigarette. Sk, sk, sk. Too confused to figure out what didn't happen. Clyde turns back and reaches through the car window from the driver's side, lighting it for her. Bonnie casts Clyde a fishy stare and accepts the light. Look, I don't do that. It's not that I can. mean, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't like boys.
Bonnie doesn't know what she thinks, except for shut up, Pindar. And Clyde is trying to gauge her reaction, whether she feels rejected or repelled. In fact, it's both, along with latent fascination. Boy, boy, boy.
Boy, what?
Your advertising is dandy. Folks would just never guess you don't have a thing to sell. You better take me home now.
Wait.
Don't touch me.
She
I know,
gets out of the car, leaving Clyde draped across the front seat, reaching after her. If all you want is stud service, get on back down to West Dallas and stay there the rest of your life.
I thought it was Virginia. This stops her. Now Clyde pours it on with an almost maniacal exuberance that becomes more controlled as he gets control of Bonnie.
But you work more than that. A lot more than you know. And that's why you come along with me. You can find a lover boy on every corner in town. It doesn't make a damn then whether you're waiting on tables or picking cotton, so long as you cooperate. But it does make a damn to me.
Why?
Why? Because you're different. You're like me and you want different things. Bonnie's hooked now. You and me traveling together, we cut clean across this state. In Kansas too, and maybe dip into Oklahoma, Missouri or whatnot. Or catch ourselves hot pockets and high heel no time. We can be something we can never be alone. I'll show you. We'll walk into the Adolphus Hotel in San Antonio. You wearing a silk dress. They'll be waiting on you, and believe me, sugar, they gonna know your last name.
He stops, having begun to woo her to something more intense than a casual physical coupling. When did you figure all that out?
First time I saw you.
How come?
You might be the best damn girl in Texas. Close up on
Who
Bonnie.
are you anyway?
We cut to the interior of the Roadside Cafe. Bonnie and Clyde in the day.
Bonnie and Clyde seated in a booth. Now, see you, Clyde. The soundtrack bridges the scene. The question that Bonnie has just asked is now suddenly rebutted by Clyde as he points a finger at her.
I'll tell you about you. He loves
doing this.
The more he envisions Bonnie's life, the more instinctively accurate he becomes. She grows more and more fascinated, like a child watching a mind reader. Listen, you born somewhere around East Texas or Virginia. Got a big old family, right? You went to school, of course, but you didn't take it much because you was a lot smarter than everybody else anyway. So you just quit. Now, when you were 17, there was a guy who worked in a
cement plant.
Right, cement plant. And you liked him because he thought you was just as nice as you could be. You almost married that guy, but then you thought, no, you didn't think you would. So you got your job in the cafe. And every morning you wake up and you hate it. You just hate it. You get down there and you put on your white uniform.
Pink, it was pink.
The truck drivers come in and eat greasy burgers and they kid you and you kid them back. But they're stupid and dumb. Boys with big tattoos all over them and you don't like it. And they ask you for dates and sometimes you go. But you mostly don't, and all they ever try is get in your pants, whether you want to or not. And you go home and sit in your room and think, when the hell will I ever get away from this? Now you know.
Bonnie is half mesmerized by his talk. A waitress comes with her food, a cheap, gaudy dame. She has spit curls on each temple in the style of the times. Clyde looks at her and at Bonnie, who also wears spit curls, as soon as the waitress leaves.
Change that. I don't like it.
Without a word of protest, Bonnie immediately reaches in her bag and takes out a mirror. She holds it up and with the other hand brushes back her spit curls into her hand. She never wears them again. When she has pushed them back, she looks at Clyde for his approval. He nods his okay. He smiles. She smiles, puts back her mirror, and begins to eat food. She's ravenously hungry and eats with total concentration on her plate. Clyde doesn't touch his food. Just watches Bonnie eat for a minute.
God, you're a knockout. The exterior of the Roadside Cafe. Day for dusk. Clyde and Bonnie emerge from the cafe into the early evening. They move toward the car they have stolen. Just beyond sits a newer model car. Bonnie is surprised to see Clyde head toward the newer car.
Hey, that ain't ours.
Sure it is.
But we came in this one.
Don't mean we have to go home in it. She walks amazed around the new car and gets in beside him. Turns the key and they pull away from the cafe.
Interior, abandoned farmhouse. A wide shot of the parlor living room during the day. The room is bare. In the middle, Bonnie is waking, having slept on a couple of car seats covered with an old piece of tattered blanket. There are windows behind her. She looks about, bewildered. Clyde! She starts to panic and runs towards the window. Clyde! At another window, Clyde appears.
Hey, lady.
Where you been keeping yourself?
Slipped out by the car.
Oh? These accommodations ain't particularly deluxe?
No, if they're after us, I want the first shot. Come on, you got some work to do. Bonnie moves to the door and out of the house.
Go for it.
The exterior of the farmhouse. Front yard in the day. On the door a sign which reads, property of Midlothian Citizens Bank. Trespassers will be prosecuted. It's a wide angle. Dilapidated picket fence, 6 old bottles have been placed. As Bonnie joins Clyde, he turns and fires 6 quick shots. The bottles disappear.
You're good.
The best.
And modest.
Oh, I don't know about that. Come on, you got all set up over here? Set her spinning. Bonnie fires. She misses. Again, come on down slow with it. Bonnie fires again and hits the tire. She smiles. Blows the smoke from the barrel in pride and self-mockery. Ain't you something? I tell you, I'm gonna get you a Smith & Wesson. It'll be easier in your hand. Now try it again once. Bonnie sights. As she's about to fire, a man appears around the corner of the building. A farmer. She fires and hits the tire. I do. Clyde whirls at the sound. He grabs the gun from Bonnie because it is empty. He aims at Farmer. No, sir. No, sir. You all right ahead. You go right ahead. Clyde watches him warily. Used to be my place. Not anymore. Bank took it. Clyde and Bonnie start to move toward the farmer. All three move around to the front of the building. At a distance, we see an oaky car loaded with belongings. A woman with a baby. An arm sits in front. A smaller boy stands outside the car. Yes, sir. Moved us off. Now it belongs to them.
Well, that's a pitiful shame.
You damn right, ma'am. He looks up to see an old black fellow who has come from a distant shack and now stands near Clyde's car. Me and him put in the years here, yes, sir. So you go right ahead. We just come back for a last look.
He stands a moment looking at the house and then turns around toward his family in the car. Clyde and Bonnie look after him. Clyde spins and fires 3 fast shots into the foreclosure sign. The farmer stops and turns, looking at Clyde. Clyde offers the gun to the farmer. He looks at it, then accepts it. He slowly takes aim at the sign and fires. It pleases him. He looks at Clyde and Bonnie, who smile.
You all mind?
Bonnie and Clyde are puzzled.
Hey, Davis, come on over here.
The black fellow moves towards them. Now Bonnie understands. She takes the second gun from Clyde and hands it to Davis. Davis looks from Bonnie to the farmer and towards the house. The farmer fires again, this time at the window. He nods to Davis. Davis slowly raises the gun and fires at another window. It shatters, and they can't keep from laughing. The farmer returns the gun, as does Davis.
Much obliged.
He extends his hand. Clyde shakes it.
Otis Harrison, and this here's Davis. We work this place. Miss Bonnie Parker, and I'm Clyde Barrow.
Across the farmer's car, wide shot, day, farmer turns and looks and moves toward his people. Davis moves toward his shack. Clyde and Bonnie in the background.
We rob banks.
Bonnie turns quickly to look at Clyde. He smiles and nods.
And we fade out.
And then we fade in. A long country road. Day. A car is driving down it. It is the next day. Bonnie is driving. Clyde beside her.
You just stay in the car and watch and be ready. Alright now. You just be ready if I need you.
Bonnie's hands are tense on the wheel. Her face shows how nervous she is. Now that the time has come.
You scared, baby?
No. They drive in silence.
What you thinking about?
Nothing.
The exterior of the business street of a little town in the day. We still in the car as Bonnie pulls over and stops by the bank. Clyde frozen in his seat. We can see that for all his talk. He's scared too.
What are you waiting for?
That gets him. Throws open the door and jumps, practically dives out the door. Camera follows his motion right inside the bank. It's Something's very screwy here. The bank is dark, the teller is half asleep on his books, and Clyde approaches, thrusts the gun at him. Step up. You just take it easy and nothing will happen to you. Give me the money.
Howdy.
Give me the money.
What money? There ain't no money.
There ain't no money. There's a bank, ain't it? Camera pans around the bank. We see that at this empty, dusty and shabby.
This was a bank. We failed 3 weeks ago.
What? What? Narration. She goes behind the partition and grabs the teller and pushes him ahead with the gun. Clyde is fuming. He forces the teller out the front door.
Secure your bank. Showing Bonnie in the car. She is terrified as she sees Clyde and the teller coming at her. She doesn't understand what is happening.
You tell her.
As I was telling this gentleman, our bank failed last month and ain't no money in it. I sure am sorry. Bonnie's reaction. Bonnie's reaction is one of hysterical relief and appreciation of what's funny in the situation. She laughs uproariously. She can't stop laughing. This makes Clyde madder than ever. He shoves the teller to the ground. Completely humiliated, Clyde gets in the car, shoving Bonnie over. She is still laughing. Bonnie starts the car. Clyde points the gun out the window. Angle to the bank. On the soundtrack, Bonnie's laughter. Still driving. Bonnie has still not fully recovered from her mirth, but it is quieting down because she sees that Clyde is really mad and can't be pushed too far.
Got down 98 and you're laughing.
She tries to stop.
Oppositional effect. You keep it running.
Grocery store. In the day. There is an old clerk behind the counter, and standing in the background, almost out of view, is a butcher, an enormous giant of a man. Clyde steps up to the counter.
Give me a loaf of bread, a dozen eggs, and a quart of milk.
The clerk gets the order and puts it in a bag. He rings open the cash register and preparatory to asking Clyde for the money. Clyde pulls his gun.
This is stick up. I'll take all the money in that drawer now.
He reaches over the counter into the cash drawer and grabs the bills. He smiles. Suddenly looming beside Clyde is the butcher, brandishing a meat cleaver.
I'll let you read all that.
No, I'm not. Do what?
I'll let you read that whole passage.
Oh, well, thank you. Suddenly looming beside Clyde is the butcher, brandishing a meat cleaver. Camera looks up at his formidable sight as the cleaver comes crashing down, missing Clyde and sticking it in the wooden counter. He grabs Clyde around the chest in a bear hug and actually lifts him off the ground. The struggle is in silence. Clyde is terrified, fighting wildly to get free. The gun in Clyde's hand is pinned because the man has Clyde's arm pinned to his thigh. Clyde tries to raise the barrel at an upward angle to shoot. Finally, he is able to do so. He fires. The bullet enters the butcher's stomach. The butcher screams, but reacts like a wounded animal, more furious than ever. He still holds Clyde in a fierce hug, staggering around the store, knocking into shelves and spilling cans. Clyde is hysterical with fear. He shoots the butcher again. The butcher falls to his knees, but still doesn't release Clyde. In a panic, Clyde drags the man to the door, trying to get out. Outside, Bonnie sees Clyde and the butcher holding his legs. She is terrified. Clyde drags him out on the street. The butcher won't let go. Clyde, in a real panic, aims the gun at his head and fires. Click. Out of bullets. In blind fury, he pistol whips the butcher's head with two terrific swipes. Finally, the butcher lets go. Hysterical, Clyde jumps away and leaps into the car on the other side. Bonnie still at the wheel.
Get the hell out of here!
They drive off at top speed.
It's story time with Uncle Bill. Let's say hello to a couple people here real quick. Some of your community I see out there. Oppositional and Pendar and Traders and Kim
Let me say hi to
Maple.
them. Damn.
All right, go
You're just
ahead.
saying hi to everyone. Yeah, just go ahead and do it then.
No, go ahead. I'll take me a break.
No, I'm waiting for this thing to finish rolling here. Rolling. Chat room keeps
Everybody
rolling.
enjoying this
Okay.
tonight? Hey, copy that.
Kim Maple, copy this, copy that. Oppositional.
Shout out Benny Loco.
Oppositional effect. Traders in the house. Kim Maple, I said hi to you already. Catlin. Pendarino. Shoot him, Bonnie. I love you, Pendar. Oh my God, I love you, Pendar. And my avatar tonight was made by Pendar.
Professional
Green Hornets.
paranormal.
What is in the house? Guardian Angel.
If y'all are just getting
Sweet
here,
Vixen.
we're reading Bonnie and Clyde tonight.
Nose. Sapphire. Jean.
Sapphire tingles. Jean Williams.
Y'all are doing an amazing job. Catlin says.
Shrimp
And you know,
and
Catlin's deaf. She can't hear.
Naughty Nikki.
Kiki, do you love
Naughty
me?
Nikki.
Sweet Vixen. Ixen.
I think Nez is going to be the Queen of Hearts. I'm pretty sure about that. But you know, we do need to figure out who's going to play Alice. Alice has a huge role, man. It's going to be demanding for that person.
Name? Who?
Alice, and you know, she's going to be. I think Nez is going to be the Queen of Hearts, and Bingus is going to be the Mad Hatter. But we got to figure out who Alice is going to play Alice and all that. It's a big role.
I can try, but you see how that's working out so far.
But yeah, we got plenty of time. We'll have a good audition tomorrow night.
A little girl, I am not. Okay.
Let's see, where are we at in the script right now?
Oh my God. 22.
22. Okay, the interior of the car. All right.
Playtime's over.
Kiki's eyes. Kiki
He keeps going.
Special shout out to all our moderators out there. Sunshine and Kathleen and Kimmy Kim, Celeste Lover. Let me miss anybody.
Who else?
Dive
TW was here. He's a moderator. Native Cottage or Cottage.
Native Cow.
TW Popcorn in the house.
AKA Grammy Scott.
Read what Catlin said. Read what Catlin said.
Izzy the most. Oh my gosh.
Thank you,
Catlin.
Gaia.
Feel better now?
Okay. Yes, I do. I feel much better now.
Clyde is shaken. He speaks haltingly, panting, trying to get control of himself. Damn him, that big son of a bitch. He tried to kill me. I ain't got eyes in the back of my head. I didn't want to hurt him. It wasn't a real robbery. Some food and a little bit of dough. I'm not against him. Damn.
Where are we?
We are at
I'm
22,
sorry,
like
man.
you said.
Exterior speeding car. In the day. Right there. The car is speeding down an open road.
Yes.
Suddenly it begins to buck and cough. There is something wrong with it. Close shot. C.W. Mouse. Exterior of the filling station. His cherubic cheeks are puffed up as he blows into the fuel lines of Clyde's car. There is a distinctly flat sound. Clyde and Bonnie. Clyde stands by the hood. Bonnie remains seated in the car. Clyde is covered with sweat and grease. Clearly he has gotten in his licks of the engine without success. Neither he nor Bonnie seems impressed by the noise CW is making. Well, I don't want to try out for the hook a smoking caterpillar.
Oh my god.
Sasquatch wanted to do the caterpillar, remember?
Oh yeah. We'll see what happens.
He's excited for Alice in Wonderland. Alright. Now you didn't. You want to
What
do
was
this
wrong
fast?
anyway? Air bubble clogged fuel line.
CW now stands between Bonnie and Clyde.
I just blowed her away.
Clyde still can't get over it.
You just blowed it away.
I'm not belching. He is embarrassed before Bonnie.
Excuse me, ma'am. Anything else I can do for you?
Clyde nods vigorously. Looking
Creepy.
looking across CW's back to Bonnie. Bonnie gets the message.
PD tingles.
Well, I'm not sure. She looks around. Say, them little red things there sticking up, are they gas pumps?
Sure is.
Isn't that interesting? How does that there gasoline get in my little old car?
Well, you see, there's this tank underground. And gas coming up this tube and the pump into your car, man.
My, you're a smart fellow. You sure know a lot about automobiles, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, would you know what kind of car this is?
Yes, it's a Chevrolet 8-cylinder coupe.
No.
Sure it is.
No. This is a stolen Chevrolet 8-cylinder coupe.
CW jerks his hand off it as if he touched a hot stove. Clyde said, "You ain't scared, are you?" "I believe he is. What a pity. We sure could have used smart boy who knows such a great deal about automobiles. You a good driver, boy?" I guess so. Well, I don't think so. He better off here.
What's your name, boy?
Let's see W. Moss.
What's the CW for?
Clarence Wallace.
I'm Miss Bonnie Parker, and this is Mr. Clyde Barrow. We rob banks.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, is there, boy? No.
No, he ain't the one.
Unless, boy, you think you got enough guts for our line of work. What do you mean? I served a year in the reform school.
Oh, a man with a record.
Now look here. I know you got the nerve to shortchange old ladies who come in for gas. What I'm asking you is if you got what it takes to pull bank jobs with us.
Mr. C.W. Moss?
Sure I could. I could. I ain't scared. Is that what you mean? Prove it.
CW walks away from the car. Camera remains where it was. We see him walk inside the gas station office, open the cash drawer, close it, and come out. He emerges with a fistful of money. He walks over to Bonnie's window, sticks his head inside, and drops the money on her lap. We see the bills flutter down. Not a word is spoken. Bonnie moves over into the middle. CW opens the door and gets in behind the wheel. For a moment, we see them all sitting there together, each smiling their little smile. Clyde starts to hum a hillbilly tune quietly. The soundtrack picks it up, banjo and violin, etc. And the music swells. They drive off down the road.
It's the interior of the hospital room in the day. Small room with a bed. On it covered by a sheet which humps like a mountain over his enormous stomach is the butcher. His head is propped up on a pillow, and he sips liquid through a bent glass straw. He grunts negatively and goes on sipping from his straw. 1 picture, 2, 3 go by. The 4th picture is a mugshot of Clyde, giving the butcher grunts no without hesitation. As the next picture comes into view, we dissolve to ska.
Exterior motel night. On a painted wooden sign lit by one attached light, which reads Motor Court. Room in Motor Court. Night. In darkness, cameras closes in on Bonnie. She is awake and restless. Bonnie raises up and kneels over Clyde. She needs him. Clyde seems to snore on.
Why is that so funny? PD tingle, tingle.
Damn dude of my life. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Camera drops between them, and we see that the story actually comes from CW. Bonnie drops back on her pillow. We cut close on Clyde. He is awake. Interior cafe in the day. Bonnie, Clyde, and CW seated in a booth in a cafe. The waitress brings the food and serves everybody. We see CW with great concentration, as he does everything by relating to the immediate action he happens to be involved with. He takes a sugar shaker and begins methodically sprinkling sugar all over his food. He sugars the meat, the beans, and the beets. Bonnie and Clyde watch this performance with first amazement and second disgust. They can't believe what they see. CW, what are you doing? Why do you do that?
Why not?
It's just disgusting, that's why.
Not to me, it ain't.
But it makes everything sweet.
Yeah, I know.
With resigned expression, Bonnie turns away and begins to eat. Suddenly, a look of consternation crosses CW's face.
Damn, no mayonnaise.
He gets up and goes down to the counter on the other end of the restaurant, out of our vision, apparently planning to put mayonnaise over the sugar. The minute he is out of earshot, Bonnie gets Clyde's attention. Clyde, why does he have to stay in the same room as us? Clyde seems not to have heard the question. He takes up the sugar shaker and spreads a thin field of sugar on the dark table service. He will sketch his plan in the sugar.
Let me show you about tomorrow.
Why?
Now, CW, I'll be waiting right outside the car. Here's the teller's cage. 4 of them over there at the desk, and what have you?
Why, Clyde? In the same room with us?
Well, where else? Ain't gonna spread out all over the state.
The harshness of his tone concerns him, and he recovers with a smile.
Not yet, anyway. Now, the door to the bank is here now. You cover me from there.
Just said I love you so much.
You the best damn girl in Virginia.
Jesus. CW goes back with the mayonnaise. Looks at the table. Oh my God.
Hey, you spilled the sugar.
3 shots.
3 shots. Layout for tomorrow up in Minneota. Minneota? Gosh, that's 400 or 500 miles from here. So what? We take US 85 to Wills Point, don't you know? Come on over State Highway 28 at Kaufman. Keep on going. Keep on going until we hit the Farm Market Road, connects to 105, and that's right up by Minneota on Saturday afternoon. The
Small Kansas town.
exterior. Car drives into a small Kansas town. This Saturday, sunny. Streets are filled with people, cars and wagons. CW's driving. Bonnie's in front with him. Clyde's in the back. CW looks scared to death at the idea of robbing a bank. The car pulls up in front of the bank, double parked. Bonnie and Clyde get out. Keep it running, baby.
You just called CW, baby. Okay. You just called CW, baby. Why you not into the bank?
Oh my God. PD thinks that's funny, look.
Okay. Cut to the interior of the bank. Bonnie and Clyde come in. Assume the class physician. She at the door where she can cover the bank. Clyde at the first teller's cage.
This is stick up.
What?
It's stick up.
This time everyone in the bank hears it. The people gasp and pull back. Clyde slowly edges toward the door and prods Bonnie forward. She carries a paper sack. Clyde motions for her to go from cage to cage and get all the money. Bonnie begins doing so while Clyde keeps his gun trained on everybody. We see Bonnie get the money from the first teller, the second teller, then a car parked in a tight spot has just pulled out. Close up, CW, who suddenly looks delighted to see a Parkin's face. Immediately, he methodically begins to back in. It's a tight spot, and he has to cut the wheel. Pull forward, cut some more, pull back, and so on. The scene, for the audience, should be nervous and funny.
We cut to the interior of the bank number 2 in the day. Inside the bank, Bonnie and Clyde have filled the sack. They run out the door. The camera tracks with them. They run from where the car was, but it isn't there. Then they see CW has parked it. Interior of the car in the day. Clyde. Let's go, let's go. CW suddenly realizes what a stupid thing he's done. He tries to shoot out the parking spot, but he can't. He has to go through the business of backing up, cutting the wheel, and all of it. Tingle, 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 tingle. The scene is one of pure pandemonium and chaos. Come on, get out! Get out!
Exterior car day. A policeman arrives and begins firing at the car. CW gets the car halfway out of the spot, scraping fenders in the process. And the car is almost out when suddenly a face looms up at the window, a dignified, white-haired, celluloid, collared man, obviously a bank official, who has leaped onto the running board. His screaming can barely be distinguished from all the noise.
Stop!
Clyde bursts through the window.
Creepypasta.
The face of the man explodes in blood. Then he drops out of sight. Exterior car day. The car shoots off down the road, doing 90. Police are firing at the escaping car. Bonnie and Clyde are shooting out the back window. CW is almost having a nervous breakdown at the wheel. Scully. Exterior street, a movie house, day. A police car that had been chasing Clyde and Bonnie's car comes down the street. It is obvious that the cops have lost them. They are searching the street for a sign of Clyde's car. They pass a movie house where the marquee reads Gold Diggers of 1933. They slow for a moment, decide that is not probable place to look. They drive off.
Brain tingles. The interior of the movie house, a wide across audience. The opening musical sequence of Gold Diggers is on the screen. Tight shot at the audience. Clyde is nervous and keeps watching the entrance doors. He's in a rage. He shifts in the seat. Boy, you gotta be poor in the head. You. Count on you, I killed a man, murdered you too. Shot from behind Clyde, shooting toward screen. Dumbass, stupid. CW turns to Clyde and nods agreement. This infuriates Clyde even more. Slaps the back of CW's head. Ever do a dumb thing like that again, I'll kill you, boy. Then go let Bonnie. She's been watching the movie. Is now disturbed by the noise. She turns back to Clyde from her seat on the aisle.
Shh! If you boys want to talk, why don't you go outside?
She smiles at her joke, turns back to the screen, to the movie, which she is obviously enjoying enormously.
Interior, cheap motel bathroom. Close up, Bonnie, in the day. On the night of the screen, Bonnie, on the right of the screen, Bonnie stands at the sink, fixing her makeup in the mirror. The makeup has become more conservative. On the left, further back, is a bathtub, and in it sits CW. His head and knees peek over the gray, soapy water. He is engaged with his usual single-minded concentration in washing himself, carefully scrubbing his arms, not a thought in his head. Bonnie finishes her makeup and regards herself quizzically, tilting her head to look at herself at different angles. She is smoking a cigarette and really studying herself. What do you think of me, CW?
Well, you're just fine, I guess. Well, of course, you're a real good shot, and, well, sometimes you look pretty as a painting.
Camera stays with Bonnie during all this, watching her look at herself as she listens to CW's evaluation. She has a narcissistic concern at the moment, and she hears him enumerate her values. She thinks about each in turn and decides, yes, that's true.
Hey, Bonnie, could you get me that wash rag there?
Responding automatically, Bonnie turns and walks to a towel rack, pulls the washcloth off, and starts towards CW. Then, when suddenly she stops with a smile on her face and with a sudden motion, teasingly, she holds the washcloth out at an arm's length. Won't you come get it?
Huh?
Won't you come get it, CW?
Suddenly, CW looks mortally embarrassed as he realizes what that would entail. Oh, Bonnie, come on, give me it. Bonnie tries another tack. She begins sauntering over slowly, teasingly, still holding out the treasured washcloth.
All right, I'll bring it myself.
She moves closer to the tub. CW realizes that she will be able to peer down into it and see him. He frantically reaches up with one hand and yanks the washcloth into the tub. He's a lump. This irritates her. His very presence is demanding to herself and Clyde.
You simpleton. What would you do if we just pulled out some night while you was asleep?
I wouldn't know what to do. But you wouldn't do that. You couldn't now.
Bonnie realizes with some weariness the inevitable truth of what he said. Thus resigned, she says patronizingly, "That's right, CW. We'll always be around to take care of you." Pointedly, she throws her cigarette in his bathwater. She turns and leaves the
Did you
bathroom,
hear that,
slamming the
sunshine?
door behind her. What?
Can you do that again?
No, it was
That sound effect.
yeah. That was
Grubby the beagle.
of the cigarette going out in the water.
Jen's horror.
Yeah.
It's beagle scuff.
34.
Hey. Feeling good. Tingle, tingle, tingle. Sk, 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 sk. The interior of the bedroom. Clyde goes with her into the connecting bedroom. He's sitting on the edge of the bed, cleaning the guns. It's quiet and preoccupied, takes no note of Bonnie's present condition. The moment she enters, he looks up. "Bonnie, I want to talk to you. Sit down. This afternoon we killed a man we were seen. Now, nobody knows who you are yet. They're going to be after me and anybody who's running with me. That's murder now, and it's going to be rough. Look, I can't get out, but right now you still can. You say the word and I'll put you out on the bus, go back to your mother. Because you mean a lot to me. I ain't gonna make you run with me. So if you want, you say the word." Bonnie's moved by his offer, has tears in her eyes. Why, we ain't gonna have a minute's peace. Bonnie doesn't like him in this mood. She tries to josh him out of it.
Shaw.
Bonnie, we could get killed.
Who'd want to kill a sweet young thing like me?
I ain't no sweet young thing.
Oh, Clyde, I can't picture you with a halo. And if you went to the other place, you'd rob the devil blind, so he'd kick you right back to me.
Close up on Clyde, touch deeply. We realized this was a lovely thing to say to him. All right, let's see here. Let's take a quick little break here. Let's see what's
Yeah.
coming up.
You see what's coming up?
They
Oh,
don't
gotta
know
smack
it yet,
myself.
do
Yeah. Oh, gotta smack that side and that side.
they? Okay, who's gonna read that?
I'll read it. You know I can do it. I said, yeah, just smoke that cigarette, Petey. You damn right. I'm getting ready to light one.
Yeah, it's time for a cigarette. Well,
Yeah.
maybe
It'd be-
after the scene would have been better, but
I was gonna say that. Maybe you want to wait till after it.
Marie Holiday, welcome to the show. Popcorn and tinkles. Ska, 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 ska. Ska, 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 ska. Kathleen. Trader Tingles. Hey, Shane's at Paralife TV. Shane Ska. Say hey to everybody for a minute. Y'all enjoying the show
Hey, everybody,
tonight?
for a minute.
Debbie Tingles. Kiki. Are you
see
reading
that?
it?
No, I'm reading what she said.
Is that your favorite part, PD?
Oh my God.
Oh,
I'm going back
my
and look at
gosh.
these. I couldn't
I
see
don't know
these.
what it, sometimes I get brain tingles listening to PD. You know, it depends on what's going on.
It's
but
called connecting.
I know, right? Kiki Ska.
Kiki, do you love me?
How you been doing, Shane? Kim
Love
Maple
you to
Syrup Tingles.
The end.
Miss Lover Tingles. Ska, 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 ska. Hey, Mr. J. Hey, Mr. J.
Thank you,
Judas
Mr. J.
Cradle.
Traders among us.
Yeah, I really like this format. It's a lot of fun.
Why are you smiling there, Popcorn? Popcorn.
Wilson face green smile. They don't show those emojis on StreamYard.
No, that's why I was looking at us. So why are you smiling? But you can see them on YouTube. He's got brain tingles. That's what
Harley
brain
Grubber.
tingles. Marie Holiday. I'm in training for Skull
For those of y'all just
University.
coming in, don't forget tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central, we have auditions for Alice in Wonderland. And there's quite a few parts still open. I really did have a few people in mind for certain parts, but it's Pindar Ska.
When does Izzy hobble Scully?
Yeah. We'll surprise y'all one night for that. But
yeah.
I guess we want to prepare for it a little bit. I don't know. We didn't need to prepare for this, really. But
one. He gave it to me last night. Says we're going to do this tomorrow night. This is how prepared we are. He shows up 5 minutes till showtime.
I was telling Izzy last night, I went from going to read Harold and Maude, and then I thought about Tuesday with Maury, and then I thought about, what was the other one, Izzy? I can't remember.
First of all, I want to put it to record here that he did not tell me this last night. It was someone else he was speaking with. I do not know what you're talking about, Scully. It wasn't me.
Oh, maybe
And
it
I'll
wasn't.
stand by
I
that.
don't know.
No, I know it wasn't. Because the only thing he told me was Wizard of
Well,
Oz.
Whomever it was I was talking to.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Keep them
I'm
straight,
the
Scully.
queen of
You have
hearts,
so
is
many.
Nez. Oh, Nez is going to tear that roll
She
up.
definitely, that's what I said. I thought she'd make a great Queen of Hearts. Off with her heads. Off with her heads.
You know, I did debate a little bit if she should play Alice, to be honest with you, but I just kept thinking of that ruefulness and that menacing portrayal
That
of
should make her
Captain
feel
Hook,
good.
you know,
That
and
should make her
just
feel really well.
and that I know how Nez can change like characters, and that queen goes from being like sweet to ruthless. Man, she's a complete psychopath, you know. So, oh my gosh.
Pindar says, how many roles are there?
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good bit. I mean, there might be 12 or 13 different roles. The thing is, like some of the smaller ones, like you have to get one person to play multiple roles. Because I mean, truthfully, I can't handle more than about 10 or so people on panel, you know. So we do have to kind of make those decisions. Um, I mean, that's StreamYard, you know, wow, how many they let up there? 10 or 8?
10 if you
10,
have
yeah.
the paid plan. Hanging with Mr. J. Let's all hang with Mr. J. I can talk like you. But that's not how you talk. I can talk like you, though. You can't talk like me, though.
Oh, you want to do the caterpillar too, huh, Nez?
Gosh.
Yeah, y'all come up and try out tomorrow night.
Tryouts tomorrow. Be there or be on
Jen, you
panel.
can come try out? You gonna audition? Yeah, PD's gonna come up, huh?
Ooh.
I was actually in PD's stream when I came up with the idea of doing Alice in Wonderland. And I just thought it was perfect. And then, of course, last night, wherever that was, talking about the Wizard of Oz. That should be a good one. I mean, I know these are like classic works and there's been tons of productions, but like trying to get your hands on the right script, I mean, it takes
like
hours of looking around and trying to find, you know, can you do it? Number one, is it right? Number two, and you know, it's quite the endeavor to take these classic works on. But I think it's worth it. Those are timeless pieces, so...
We all know that the Wizard of Oz will be myself behind the curtain in the background.
Right?
Yeah. That's where I need to be after this production.
Oh, the Wicked Witch. Who's going to play the Wicked Witch?
I got you, my pretty. And your little dog, too. But
there
I won't be the Wicked Witch. Oh, dude, I can sound like Glinda the Good Witch, too.
We'll do the Good Witch, yeah. Let's hear
I can do the
both.
Flying Monkeys. No, I did the Good Witch. I'm Glinda the Good Witch.
Man, anyway. That was actually pretty good.
I told you. And she goes, I'm Glinda the Good Witch. The Munchkins, yeah. I am a lollipop
Scully, I suck balls.
a lollipop cat. I am a lollipop cat.
Yeah, you like doing theater, PD?
I'm a lollipop kid, but not a sucker. That was funny. I'm a lollipop. Oh my god. I'm lollipop now instead of Izzy Pop.
First, so it's mine.
God.
You hear me?
What? Huh?
I looked it first, so it's mine.
I saw that. Oh my god. Oh, traitor, stop laughing at him.
What was that, Shane? What's he talking about? That was pretty good. It was pretty darn good. Y'all go over there and check out Paralife TV. Shane is quite an incredible channel, and he's overcome the odds and adversity and will give you inspiration.
Jens, this is the very first play I have ever been in. Izzy, stop hitting your donut.
What'd she say?
Jen said she was at a
Oh,
play 22
okay.
years ago. I said I've never been at a play. And Kat says,
What's
Izzy,
Cat
stop
talking
it.
about? I didn't even hear what was going on.
She told me to stop.
Oh, you doing that thing?
No, she said stop. I'm doing an incredible job.
That's right. Kimmykins. My beautiful wifey. Kimmy.
I'm not the badass.
Jen's aura will give you brain tingles too. She got a good voice. She's got that Kentucky accent. Kentucky ska. So I guess we're gonna read a little bit more, maybe. How long we been going? Let's go about 30
Well, we're in
more
the
minutes.
motel bedroom, so how far do you want to go?
Oh my gosh! Don't remind me.
How
Let
far do
me
you want
go
to go?
eat.
We're in the
Let me
bedroom.
go get my bowl of Wheaties real quick.
Energizer Bunny at your service, sir.
Gene Bohemus.
Okay, I'll stop.
I'm almost ready.
That's what he said.
Y'all want to stick around for this scene?
It's getting hot up in here.
She
Oh,
rolls over
Lord,
on her
help us.
back.
Okay.
It's not too bad, is it?
What?
You're not getting ready to ad lib, are you?
Me? You're the one who wrote it. No, I'm good. I'm a good girl.
They're in the interior of the motel in the bedroom.
No. That's me.
Huh?
That's
Oh,
mine.
you want to read that?
Oh, yeah.
You
Okay.
hear that, sunshine? Listen to her, Catlin.
Told you need a cigarette. Okay. Interior motel bedroom. They kiss. They are near the bed on which there are some guns that Clyde has been cleaning. The kiss moves toward real lovemaking. They were on the bed and push the guns aside. Some fall to the floor. Clyde breaks the embrace after it has reached a high pitch. He moves away from the bed toward the window. Bonnie follows him and embraces him from the rear. They are miserable. Bonnie frees him and turns him to the bed. She falls on it face down. A gun presses into her face. Clyde sits on the bed. The light silhouettes him. He turns his face toward the glass and rests his head on the window pane. Bonnie turns to him from the bed. She smiles a comforting smile at him. She rolls over onto her back. The gun is now under her head.
Jen.
She said
What?
she
I
sits
need
up and
kissing.
she sits up and gestures to Claude. He remains at the window. She stares at him. He looks toward the bathroom. She looks back at Claude. She is moved and pained for him. She touches her cheek with the gun and waits for him to be able to look at her. Finally, he does. Her look eases him and he almost smiles. Interior Buck's car. Day. Shot of little fuzzy dice. A little fuzzy doll tied by a white shoestring to the rear view mirror of a car. The car is moving, the doll is bouncing up and down. In the front seat are Buck and Blanche Barrow. Buck is a jovial, simple, big-hearted man, a little chubby, given to raucous jokes, whatever, knee-slapping, and broad reactions. He is, in many ways, the emotional opposite of his brother. It doesn't take much to make him happy. Blanche, his wife, is the direct opposite of Bonnie. She is a housefrau, no more and no less. Not terribly bright, not very ambitious, cuddly, simpering, madly in love with Buck, and desirous of keeping their lives on the straight and narrow. As the scene begins, we hear and then see the see Buck driving, singing The Great Speckled Bird. Blanche is sitting next to him, looking at a movie magazine, appearing fairly miserable.
What a beautiful thought I'm thinking concerning that great speckled bird. Remember, his name's recorded on the page of God's holy word.
All right. Now you did foolish things as a young man, honey love, but you went and paid your debt to society, and that was right. But now you just getting back in with that criminal element.
Criminal element? This is my brother, darling. Shoot, he ain't no more criminal than you are, Blanche.
Well, that ain't what I heard.
Now, word of mouth just don't do. Darling, you gotta have the facts. Shoot, why, he and me growed up together. Slept and worked side by side. God, what a boy he was.
He's a crook.
Now you stop bad-mouthing him. Blanche, we just gonna have us a little family visit for a few weeks. And then we'll go back to Virginia. And I'll get me a job somewhere. Wash your mouth out with soap. Okay, I just ain't gonna work in your daddy's church. That's final. What a beautiful thought I'm thinking concerning that great speckled bird. We cut to the exterior of the cabin, the front of the motel in the day. Buck's car drives up to the cabin, honking the horn wildly. The door of the cabin opens and Clyde comes running out. He's overjoyed to see his brother. Buck jumps out of the car, equally delighted. They hug each other. Buck! Clyde! You son of a bitch!
They laughed happily and began sparring with each other, faking punches and blocking punches, an old school ritual. There is a great feeling of warmth between the two brothers. Clyde is more outgoing than we have ever seen him before.
How's Ma? How's my sister? Just fine. Send her best to you. How you feeling out there? Must have been that prison food. Hell no. It's married life. You know what they say. It's the face powder that gets a man interested. But it's the baking powder that keeps him at home. You wouldn't meet my wife. Hey, honey, come on out here now and meet my baby brother.
Camera swings to the car. We see Blanche still sitting there, her face obscured by the glint of sun on the windshield. Slowly, she gets out of the car, still carrying the movie magazine. Howdy do.
Howdy do. It's real nice to know you.
Buck beams with pleasure, thinking they must like each other. Bonnie comes out of the cabin, standing out on the steps. The screen door slams behind her. Close up, Bonnie, expressionless, looking it all over. Buck and Clyde notice nothing of this. Buck bounds over to Bonnie, all jollity.
Well, you must be Bonnie. Now, I hear you've been taking good care of the baby and the family. Well, sis, I'm real glad to meet you. I'd like you to meet my wife, Blanche.
Hello.
There's an awkward pause. Suddenly, the screen door opens and CW comes out, dressed in his long underwear. Blanche can hardly stand it. Everybody, this is CW Moss. CW, my brother Buck and his wife Blanche. Hi to y'all.
He pumps Buck's hand vigorously and then goes to Blanche with his characteristic one-track intensity. He decides to act just as friendly as he can with Blanche, ignoring the fact that he's standing there in his underwear. Blanche, however, is not ignoring it.
Well, how do, Miss Barrow? Or can I call you Blanche? I sure am pleased to meet you. Did you have a hard time finding us here in this neck of the woods? Well, you sure picked a good day for it. So you got a screen laying there, and new photos of Myrna Boy. She's my favorite picture star.
Blanche is starting to edge over to Buck in a sheer panic as this strange young man in his BVDs. But CW takes no notice of it at all. Blanche finally grabs Buck's arm. Bonnie watches it all smirking.
Hey, let me get that Kodak.
Buck goes to his car and gets a folding brownie camera.
Hey, CW, go put your pants on. We're gonna take some pictures. Y'all hear about the guy who thought Western Union was a cowboy's underwear?
Buck and Clyde and CW laugh heartily. CW goes into the cabin. Buck pushes Blanche and Clyde together, posing them for a picture. Let me get one of my bride and my brother. Wait a minute. Let me get one of my bride and my brother? It says Bonnie. No, Clyde, you say it. I don't know. Whose
That's
line is
you.
that? I know. Let me get one of my bride and my brother. I don't think so. Buck, don't take my picture now. I'm just a mess from driving all day.
Oh, honey, now you look real fine.
Bonnie watches Blanche's behavior with hardly veiled disgust. Buck snaps the picture as Blanche is about to move out of it. Did you take my picture? Oh, Buck, I declare.
Buck laughs
Buck-
and goes to Bonnie, takes her by the arm and moves her next to Clyde and Blanche. He lines them up, steps back and takes their picture. Clyde is the only one smiling. Hey, Buck, get one of this. Buck does. Clyde, you do one of me and my missus. He puts his arm around Blanche and Clyde takes the picture. Let me take one of Bonnie. Bonnie grins at him and responds with amused arrogance.
Okay.
Clyde snaps the picture. Everyone but Blanche laughs. CW comes out dressed. Buck, hey brother, let's you and me do a little talking. Here, CW, take the girl's picture. The interior of the cabin.
Interior cabin in the day. They walk into the cabin. Camera goes with them. Bedroom is dark, shades pulled. There is an aura of boys' clubhouse secret camaraderie in the following scene.
It was you or him, wasn't it? Huh? That guy you killed, you had to, didn't you? Yeah, he put me in a spot, so I had to. He didn't have a chance. But you had to. Yeah, I had to. Don't say nothing to Blanche about it. Hey, that time you broke out of the jail, if she talked to you, I'm going back. Yeah, you hear about that? I won't say nothing to Bonnie about it. I appreciate it. Yeah, say what you think of Bonnie. She's real peach.
There is now a long pause, a lull in the conversation, as if they asked each other all the questions and are now out of things to say. It is too much for Buck, the natural enemy of silence, who suddenly claps his hands together and bursts out animatedly.
Oh, we gonna have us a good time. We surely are. Yes, sir. What we gonna do? Well, how's this? I thought we'd all go to Missouri. They ain't looking for me there. We'll hole up someplace and have a regular vacation, all right. No trouble now. No trouble. I ain't looking to go back to prison. Hey, What's this I hear about you cutting up your toes, boy? Ain't but half of it. I did it so I could get off work detail. Breaking those damn rocks with a hammer day and night. Sure enough, next week I got parole. I walked out of that godforsaken jail on crutches. Shh, ain't life great?
Exterior road day. We see two cars, one behind the other, driving down a main road. Clyde is driving. Buck sits next to him. No one else is in the car.
And the doc, he takes him aside, says, "Son, your old mama just getting weak and sick laying there. I want you to persuade her to take a little brandy. You know, pick up her spirits." My doc, he said, "You know my mom was a teetotaler. She wouldn't touch a drop." Well, I tell you what, Doc says, "Why don't you bring her a fresh quart of milk every day from your farm? Except you fix it up so half of it's brandy and don't let on." So he does that, doctors it up with brandy. His mom drinks some of it. Next day he brings it again. She drinks some more. She keeps it up every day. Finally, 1 week later, he brings her the milk, and don't you know, she just shouts it all down. Looks at her bag and says, "Son, whatever you do, don't sell that cow."
Clyde and Buck explode in laughter. Interior second car in the day. At the top of the laugh, cut to the interior of the second car, riding it right in the back of them. The atmosphere is completely unlike the cozy and jolly scene preceding. We have dead silence. Bonnie is driving, smoking a cigarette, grim. Blanche, seated as far away as she can to get away from Bonnie without falling out of the car, makes a face at the cigarette smoke, rolls down the window for air. CW's in the back, seat just staring. Garage apartment in the day. A residential street in Joplin, Missouri, showing a garage apartment over a double garage. Camera sees Buck talking to a dapper gent with keys in his hand. Buck pays him. The man tips his hat and walks off. Buck gestures and Clyde drives a car into the driveway. CW follows, driving Buck's car with Blanche. Clyde stops beside Buck. Buck leans into Clyde's car and says,
"I give you 1 month's rent in advance. We're all set. Let's get inside."
Clyde calls back to CW in the following car.
"Pull up and unload the stuff. Honey, love, I'm taking you in our first home."
Blanche giggles. The two cars pull up before the garage and the people start to descend. Interior garage apartment in the day. A winded Buck enters and puts down Blanche, as others behind him carry in their things and disperse throughout the apartment. "Oh, look, it's so clean, Buck! And a Frigidaire, not a nice box."
He gives me grocery number. Goes
He
to
goes
the
to the
phone. Let me see, 4337. Operator, please, ma'am, may I have 4337, if you please?
"Oh, they got linoleum on the counter. Ain't that clever?"
Hello, Smitty's Grocery. I'd like to order a mass of groceries. Oh yeah, 143 Hillsdale Street. Let's see, about 8 pounds of pork chops, 4 pounds of red beans, a can of Chasing Sanborn.
"Oh, isn't this something, Daddy?"
It's quiet. A quart of milk, 8 bottles of Dr. Pepper, and that's it, I guess. No, a box of Rice Krispies. Bye now.
Interior living room in the day. Open on Bonnie and Clyde. He is cleaning guns. She is watching something off screen. We hear a clicking sound. My, You need a haircut, Daddy. You look like a hillbilly. A look of disgust crosses Bonnie's face. Clyde, who has been watching her, smiles. The clicking sound increases suddenly.
Gotcha.
Blanche whoops. Camera cuts to see that Buck and CW are playing checkers and Buck has just beaten him.
Again? Boy, you ain't never gonna beat me, but you keep trying now.
He starts to set up the game again. Just like an old man, plays checkers all the time and doesn't pay any attention to his poor, lonely wife. She ruffles his hair again.
Cut it out now, honey. I'm gonna teach this boy a lesson he'll never forget.
Camera cuts to Bonnie, watching with disgust. Then slowly a wicked smile hedges across her face. She watches for a moment more, then she rises and with the most ingenuous look she could muster up, beckons to Clyde, follow her into the bedroom. A little puzzled, Clyde follows.
The interior
Bonnie closes
of
the door.
bedroom. That's
Bonnie
right.
closes the door and immediately begins fussing with Clyde's hair, doing a scathing imitation of Blanche. Though her miming expresses her irritation at being closeted with the Barrow Menage, it is also a peach doing an imitation of a lemon, and it is disarmingly sensual. Indeed, the mimicry allows Bonnie to be physically freer with Clyde, and allows Clyde to respond without anxiety, without self-consciousness. We should have the distinct, if momentary, feeling that Clyde could suddenly make it with Bonnie.
Tingle pop.
Oh, Daddy, you sure need a haircut. You look just like a little old hillbilly boy, I do declare. Oh, mercy me, oh my stars.
Clyde laughs, and Bonnie tugs at the shirt. She kneels on the bed cover over Clyde, who quietly, easily drapes across it.
Oh, Daddy, you're such a slowpoke.
She's letting her hair fall loose, its golden ends brushing up and down Clyde's body. Hush up a little. They're in the next room.
Shoot, there's always going to be somebody in this room, the next room, and every other kind of room. Chat room.
Hey, DC tingles.
Oh, Clyde.
I might be lost.
Clyde has his arm around Bonnie.
There ain't no way to talk about my brother.
No.
Okay, Clyde's got his arm around Bonnie. She's almost draped across him, but in the direction of the length of the bed, so their bodies almost form a crooked cross. She digs an elbow in his stomach. Oh, now that ain't no nice way to talk about my brother.
I ain't talking about your brother.
Hang on a second.
Suddenly, Bonnie straightens up to a kneeling position again and cocks her head. When she speaks now, it's with a simple plaintiveness. Honey, do you ever just want to be alone with me? I don't mean like that. I mean, do you ever have the notion of us being out together and alone, like at some fancy ball? Or I don't know, where we could walk in all dressed and they announce us and it's fancy and in public, but we're alone somehow? We're separate from everybody else, and they know it.
Clyde looks up at Bonnie affectionately. He runs his hand carelessly down her body. I always feel like we're separate from everybody else.
Don't you, baby?
Suddenly, there's a ring at the door. Bonnie and Clyde freeze. They run
Enter
out
your
the
living
living room, camera going with them.
Quiet. I'll get it. Bonnie goes down the stairs and reaches the front door. Who is it?
Groceries, ma'am. She opens the door. A young man is there with 2 big sacks of groceries.
How much?
$6.43. I thought my mic was clipping. Hang on a second. Let me pull that down. Blowing everybody's ears off. Huh.
Bonnie pays him and goes to take the bags from him.
Here, man, them bags is heavy. Let me carry them up for you.
No, thanks. I'll take them.
Grammy Scott.
She takes the heavy bags and hefts them up and turns and walks up the stairs. They were obviously very heavy for her.
Stony.
Bonnie reaches the top steps and voices are heard.
What was it? Quiet. Open the door.
Come on, come on.
Close up on the delivery boy. A look of suspicion comes across his face. We dissolve to the interior of the garage apartment. Close up on Bonnie, seated in the living room.
It's called The Ballad of Suicide Sal. We each of us have a good alibi for being down here in the joint, but few of them really are justified if you get right down to the point. You've heard of a woman's glory being spent on a downright cur.
All right. With that being said, I think that's where we're going to end tonight.
It's in the middle of what her poem.
Is it?
That's okay. Yeah. You say you write all that.
That's why it's a good place to maybe pick up
50.
again. If you want to finish reading that dialogue, that'd be fine. Yeah. As she reads, the camera pans around the room, picking out everyone's reaction. Clyde is looking and listening seriously. Buck is grinning. CW is blank. Blanche is in the kitchen cooking.
Still, you can't always judge the story as true being told by her. Now, Sal was a gal of rare beauty, though her features were coarse and tough.
Yeah, I knew her. She was cockeyed and had a little hair lip and no teeth. Bonnie flashes him a look that could kill. He shuts up fast.
Now, Sal was a gal of rare beauty, though her features were coarse and tough. She never once faltered from duty to play on the up and up.
Still listening, Clyde gets up from his chair and walks slowly past the living room windows. Turns and looks out the window.
Sal told me this tale on the evening before she was turned out free, and I'll do my best to relate it just as she told it to me.
It's the law. As soon as Clyde calls out, Blanche drops the frying pan on the floor and begins screaming. Guns begin blazing from everywhere. We rarely see who is shooting at whom. Yep, I think that's it. Good.
51.
It's about halfway, so we can finish the other half another night.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I think most everybody that was in here stayed for the whole show tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
That's Tommy up. Tiny Tingles. Welcome to the show. You did great. Wonderful, Izzy. Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Let's
I
give
think we
all
could have done better if we
our
practiced.
wonderful Izzy Pop a big hand, and all our special moderators out there. Thank you,
Thank you, guys.
Seen a couple of new faces out there. There's Anna's Adventures. Anna Ska.
Thank you, Stoney.
And y'all
Can I
definitely
have
come
my bed
out.
back now, Stoney? Thank you, Pendar. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, traders. All of my people, all my kittens, DC's my kitten.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did pretty close to 2 hours of steady reading. That was awesome. Love you guys. Diabolical Debbie. Thank you, Catlin. Sunshine. Kimmy Kins. Liz Lover. Who else we got out there? Stony Baker. We got some Native Kautsa. Yeah, y'all put on your funny face tomorrow night. Come on out and try to knock out some of these fun characters. Anything else you want to say, Izzy?
No. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good.
Thank you, Judas. Pendar.